Race number 5 at Ascot. It's a Class 3 handicap. It's over the 1,200 metres. And Mark, there's a couple in here with devastating turns of foot that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, one returns off a really impressive maiden win at Bunbury back on the 20th of November. Young Gina from the Grant and Alana Williams stable. Let's have a look at that win.
In the straight, 350 to go, and Menon Road quickly shot 2.5 in front of the Diary, getting into the clear. And now they've dropped off, pump up the volume, followed further back out at attention, but Menon Road is well clear. Down by the 150, Menon Road by 3, the Diary battling away without at attention. Here comes Young Gina, look at it coming down the outside. The leader stopping, Young Gina's all over the top. Pike does it again.
It was a good performance there by Young Gina. Looked completely out of the race with probably 300 metres to go, but the turn of foot was devastating. Now, they took the horse straight out from that run. They've given it a trial. It looked really good in the trial too, but I still have massive question marks from that race that Young Gina won. I don't think the form lines are that good. We have seen Menon Road win since, but outside of that, there hasn't been much that's gone on with it. So I still have my question marks when you compare it to horses like Radiant Girl and Swift Platinum, which have certainly raced against better company.
Yeah, look, I think it's a chance from the inside draw, but I wouldn't be taking any odds under $5, Adam. I'm with you. Number 2 there, Swift Platinum. Joseph has a party for Ross Price. Last start, just wanted to be a bit keen and then got crowded, just didn't get it his own way behind Glimmergoo. You would have seen the replay previously on the race before, Adam, but I've got a lot of time for this grey gelding by Oratorio. I think he's got a lot of class, and I just think that this is the right race. It's very much easier than last start.
You only have to go back to the run in September over 1,200 metres, beating Variation by 4.8 lengths. We've seen how those form lines have held up. I'm with you. I think the runs have shown this horse has got a lot of class. Didn't mind the run last start, even beaten 4 lengths. 1,200 metres is ideal. Barrier 4 as well. Just going to get a really nice run throughout.
Number 5 there, Radiant Girl, the daughter of Tickets, out of a Mossman mare. Steve Parnham rides for Neville Parnham now. She was a bit of a spruik horse at the start of the year and at the start of that preparation. She did come out and win at Pinjarra, but yeah, it's still a little bit below what we were expecting.
It was a dominant performance at Pinjarra, and I think everybody was blown away. It was at huge odds on that occasion and just obliterated the field. Look, I'm with you, but then you go through the form lines as well and you see a length behind Secret Minx. Again, that horse in the Fitzpatrick Plate this weekend. 1.8 behind Patrimonia, that horse going there as well. And then 2.5 behind American Star. And we're looking at Woolabar form lines and those when you assess it. So I think this is a much weaker assignment. From barrier 5, I really think Radiant Girl can get the job done here, and I'm putting it on top from number 2, Swift Platinum, number 9, Mega Minx, and 6, Young Gina.
I've got number 2 on top, Swift Platinum, the grey. I think it can go well here. From number 6, Young Gina, 5, Radiant Girl, and 9, Mega Minx.
Race number 6 at Ascot. It's over the 1,200 metres, and Mark, the replay that we're going to look at, and we know the form lines are just holding up absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, they are, aren't they, Adams? Floyd we speak of course, from the Ganjimi yard. We've seen Snow Lord come out and win now. Adam, looks very, very hard to beat. Let's have a look at it. Beating Delaney last start.
Proconi now bustled hard coming into the bend, and here comes Floyd right down the middle of the track with Delaney with their runs together. At the 200, Delaney, Floyd from Proconi. On the outside, it's Floyd. Delaney keeps coming. Proconi down on the inside, battling away. Floyd, Delaney and Floyd. Floyd does best. Floyd delivered the knockout blow to Delaney.
Really good performance here by Floyd, because we spoke to Chris Ganjimi going into the race, and he said from the draw they'd crossed, they'd hit the rail, they'd just sort of cruise through and then kick away at the top of the straight and the race would be done. Well, it all went out of plans when all of a sudden it missed the kick a little bit and knuckled down, and Jared Noski found himself in last. But I love the way that Floyd ran on and attacked the line. This horse still wasn't 100% for that run. They reckon that 1,200 metres to a mile will see its best. It steps up here. There's good speed in the race as well with the likes of Just Act Natural, Travel and these types in here. So I think we'll learn a lot about Floyd in this run.
He is still somewhat of a risk though, because barrier 9, interesting to see what they do, whether they do push forward, or like Jared Noski last start, go back to last and try to win. We've seen that he's versatile now, so either or, and he could get the job done. We've also got there at the top, number 1, Just Act Natural. Second last start behind Tented, and it was a good effort on that occasion.
Take a look at the form lines. Beaten a neck by Kiwanzo, which finished 3rd on Saturday behind Maginica. Beaten by Seeker, and then beaten a long head by Tenderton, which finished 2nd on Saturday as well in the first race. So they are certainly strong enough. Look, if there wasn't the strong Westleys, I'd have this horse on top, but I'm just worried that out in front they may be run over late with the big weight of 58.5 kilos.
Number 11, My Grace there in the Cerise and White as well. A couple of gear changes. $340,000 purchase, this one. for Grant and Alana Williams. William Pike rides. Look, the run on effort was strong last start behind Next Generation.
It was really good, and I've got Next Generation on top, so I respect those form lines a lot. Even the run before that, no, it doesn't read great, but it wasn't that bad behind more races. Conditions are going to suit. They will be able to run on. Has to be a winning chance here, but I'm going to go with Floyd. I think we're going to see the best of this horse from number 11, My Grace, 4 Grey Enigma, and 1 Just Act Natural.
I've got the 9 on top as well, Adam. Floyd from 11, My Grace, 2 Travelling, and 1 Just Act Natural.
Race number 7 at Ascot. It's a Group 3 WA size produce stakes. As you said, Mark, this is the big race of the day. Plenty have dropped out, but for anything, that makes it more intriguing for me.
Yeah, it certainly does, Adam. We'll go straight into the replay horse, though. It is Lucy May winning the Karrakatta, and watch for the others in behind it that come into this race.
Further back in the field, Siani, she's probably about 6 or 7 lengths off them. Akanar Star led at the 250. Lucy May sticking on, and now Rias stuck to put in down the outside. Akanar Star, Rias and Reykjavik and Debalatio running on. Akanar Star, Lucy May. They beat off Rias, but Debalatio's coming. Lucy May with a head in front. Lucy May. Lucy May.
Yeah, she is just tough. I think that's the only word to summarise her. She had no right to win that race again, probably 100 metres out, 150 metres out. And Sean McGrady even said he thought that it might have been over at some stages, but then she just knuckles down, and she's not the biggest horse to look at. She's, got probably a lot of negatives compared to these other runners, but she's got heart, she's got spirit, and she continues to fight through. And like a few of the others, when we've seen that they can run a nice 1,000 or 1,200, I think she'll actually be suited at 1,400 metres here. There's not a lot of speed in this race. She should be able to cross easily, find the front, and just sort of slow them up early. And if nothing takes her on, she'll be very hard to get past.
Yeah, I tend to agree, Adam. There are could be a couple of flies in her ointment, but she's very tough, as you mentioned. Having a look at the breeding as well on the dam side, looks to be a fair few mile and 1,400 metre winners, so it shouldn't be an issue. She'll tough it out to the line, and she'll certainly be in the finish. And of course, number 1, Debalatio, flashing home late for third, as you saw in the replay there. He'll get a lovely run from barrier 9. They'll go back to last. He'll be running on strongly.
Was probably unlucky not to win the race, really. My only question mark is that this horse has just been up for a long time. It was my nerve going into the Karrakatta, and I'm still nervous about it now. I don't think they were planning to come to the 1,400 metre run, but after the results and the way the field's fallen away, they decided to have a go at the stumps. That can be dangerous, but I think this horse, at its best form, from barrier 9, it'll get back, it'll run on strongly. The 1,400 metres, I think, is really going to suit.
The horse must be well, it has to be said, from the Fred Kersley yard. Adam, number 3 there, Pure Gem, and also Kiss Bang Love, the Jim Crack Stakes winner. You wouldn't have seen it in the replay there because they were well too far back, but go get your hands on the replay on the Chris website, because you can see them running on from the head-on footage, and Kiss Bang Love was just desperately unlucky.
Yeah, this horse is going to love the 1,400 metres. It was one that was sort of mentioned early on in the prep. I know that you, myself, and I were chatting to Russell Stewart about it. We said, don't worry about these early races. When you get out over 14, this horse has got the turn of foot, and everybody's just jumped off because they say 14 or 16. Do not be surprised to see this horse run one hell of a race and just run on strongly and get the chocolates here. I wouldn't be leaving you out of your top 4, and I certainly haven't done that. I've got Debalatio on top from 4 Money Maher, number 6 Lucy May, and 7 Kiss Bang Love.
Number 6 on top for me here, Lucy May, to do the treble, Magic Millions, Karrakatta, and of course WA size produce from the 1 Debalatio, 7 Kiss Bang Love, and 3 Pure Gem.
Race number 8 at Ascot. It's a Class 1 handicap. It's over the 2,100 metres. Plenty of these are in consistent form, Mark, but the replay horse that we're going to take a look at, massive win to win second up.
Yeah, it was massive, wasn't it, Adam? Reef Keeper we speak of. Also, keep an eye out for Boomalaka, Nilarko, and of course our Maori boy.
Turn Lexington Express, one of those, our Maori boy. Tyson fights in the straight. Reef Keeper had hit the front, second up over the journey. Reef Keeper goes to the lead now. My Fair Beauty battling away. Now Golgotha. It found a run back inside of them, and it's coming hard. Golgotha's coming out after Reef Keeper, but Reef Keeper's responding. Reef Keeper holding them all at bay. Great performance by Reef Keeper, and an early double for the Flying Scotsman.
Certainly a few to follow from that race, but for mine, they're not going to be turning the tables in this horse. To race second up over 2,000 metres, lead and then pull away and win by 2 lengths. That was a very good performance. Always had a bit of an opinion of this galloper because we saw the likes of William Pye copying on the Chris Parnhams, these type, and even though the horse wasn't doing a lot, they still stayed with it, and I thought that's something you had to take note of. It was a really good performance last start with Lee Newman on board. Obviously with his injuries, Chris Parnham takes the ride here. I think the horse is going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah, out of that wonderful family which produced Tick Tick Bloom as well, of course a 4-time listed winner. Adam, a really interesting race. Number 3 Delantero there as well, the 3-year-old. I just think next preparation for him.
100% with you. I think the spell's going to do this horse the world of good. But when you see a race like this, you're probably worth having another go and just giving it that experience, because it is quite weak, really. And the form lines aren't that bad. Vintrusive certainly was, a chance in the Derby, beaten 2.8. And then the run behind Kawaja was okay as well. I suspect that this will be its last run.
Number 4, Miss Mika. Jason Whiting for Steve Wallace here. The last start effort was good, but will be fitter for that run.
So much time for this horse. 16 starts, 10 placings and 1 win. Never too far away. Take a look at the last 5 runs. Hasn't been beaten by more than 2 lengths. From barrier 3, should get a really nice spot in running and does have a nice turn of foot. And I'm going to put her on top. From number 3, Delantiro. Number 8, Outspoken Duke. And 1, Reefkeeper.
I'm going with 8, Outspoken Duke. We tipped it last start and I'm sticking fat with it. From number 4, Miss Mika. 1, Reefkeeper. And 2, Boomalaka.
Time now to turn our attention to the best bet of the card, and I'm hoping number 1's the lucky number mark. Race 2, number 1, Record, and race 7, number 1, Devilatio.
I'm going race 3, number 3, Glimmer Girl to go 2 from 2, and race 5, number 2, Swift Platinum. Let's hope we can keep the good luck up, Adam.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's been going nicely for followers in recent times, and you can follow us, of course, on social media. Take a look at the screen there. PerthRacing.com.au for all of your event information. And don't forget, once we're done here, we'll be racing again on Saturday, so make sure you do stay with us, and again, take a look for the next episode of Box Seat.